Confidence Index rose for the third straight month. The index, which measures both Americans' assessment of current economic conditions and their outlook for the next 6 months, is at its highest level since December of 2021. And Americans' expectations of a recession in the next 12 months continues to decline. I'm Shelley Adler.
If Republican lawmakers have their way, Ohio could be the next state to use nitrogen gas in executions. Anchorage, Alaska set a record for the earliest arrival of 100 inches of snow.
And online
roofs on commercial buildings in Anchorage are collapsing. This is AP News.
It is 4:02 p.m., time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. My name is Loyd Kirby. I'm the host here for the next half hour. We invite you to tune in next week when we will have Mayor Tracy Welch here, his monthly visit on the first Tuesday of the month. And be sure to tune in to Viewpoint tomorrow as Terry McClellan and Josh McClellan will be in from the new J&M Meat Market that's scheduled to open soon on the square in downtown Lincoln. That's at 8 a.m. tomorrow with Viewpoint with host Dara Entwistle. But as I mentioned, today we're here from 4 to 4:30, and we have a couple gentlemen here in our studio. Darrin Watkins and Bryan Clark. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Sure thing. Let me get the right name on there so people know who you are. So if you are a listener or if you've watched our live stream broadcasts of Railer basketball and Lady Railer basketball, you've probably heard Bryan's voice as State Farm agent supporting our live streams and our broadcasts. Thank you for that. But today you're not here in that capacity. You're not. So you are here as the owner of the Lincoln Taekwondo. Is it Taekwondo Center or
Lincoln Taekwondo?
Okay, Lincoln Taekwondo. And has that been like a lifelong aspiration to own a Taekwondo center, or how did that sort of come into being?
No, that's a great question. It just kind of randomly happened. I needed to get Benny into something to help him out with some obedience, and I just asked around town. I knew of Scott Brown from back in the day, and when I talked to some of the other people in Lincoln, they referenced that gym was really good and things like that. And then obviously with his passing, then the gym ended up ultimately closing down after a period of time. So I asked a couple people from town if there was anybody local that was in that gym that I could at least talk to and maybe set up some lessons with Benny. And Darrin's name came up, and it was one of those things that we've only known each other since the beginning of August last year, and he literally stopped by. We got connected. He stopped by my office, and within 5 minutes, it was just, the friendship was already, we could see that it was going to jive. And so we just kind of, I think for about a week, we butt our heads together and decided, this could become something other than what I originally planned. Mm-hmm. And I happen to have an open space in my building there that where my office is at. And so we just decided, let's just, pray that this thing works and see what happens. And we've gone from 7 the first month to 27 now.
Oh, wow.
And it's just beginning. We got some big things coming up here. And but yeah, 99% of this whole process has been because of Darrin. It's been great partnering with him and having him literally in the corner to help the kids in town and any, even the adults. We have adults that come in too, so it's been really good.
Okay, very good. So Darrin, what was your connection with Lincoln Taekwondo then prior to Bryan approaching you?
Yeah, so I was incarcerated for a short time, and when I got released, I ran into Mr. Scott Brown, and I asked him if I could join his Taekwondo class, and that would have been in 2016, and he told me yes, and I didn't think he would let me back in there because of the trouble that I got in my past. And I remember going home and just telling God that I am going to be very committed to this class. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can. And here we are. It's been over 7 years later, and I did keep that word to myself and to God that I would continue to learn it. And then now, since Mr. Brown has passed away, I was actually the last one to get a black belt under him.
Oh, wow.
And so that put me in the position to teach his class. And so I started teaching his class. And then once the Dojang shut down, I started to advertise to people in the community that I would be willing to teach Taekwondo for free if somebody would just give me a place to teach at. And so I experimented with a few places and had a few of my friends and other students meet me. And then eventually I went to Park Meadows Church one day and ran into Ryan Sullivan, and he told me that he knew Bryan Clark and that him and Bryan were talking about having their boys in Taekwondo class. And so he set it up for me and Bryan to meet. And then like Bryan said, since we have met, it's just been all up. And we've decided to make the Taekwondo school a reality, and here we are. It's been a few months, and the numbers are rising, and it's going very well. So
very nice. So I was going to ask you that. When did it actually open that you had that class of 7?
Yep. So August, about the first week in August, I think we decided to have some people come in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. It was our original nights, and then September we were just like, man, we have no idea. Let's just make this official. So we wanted to honor Mr. Brown and continue what he had created, and there's no better person than Darrin to be that leader. And so September, I think we were official by the state of Illinois, and then I would say October was when we really started deciding, like, we're all in, and let's just make this come true.
And so what is involved with that? You say you were official with the state.
So we registered. Yep, we registered our business with the state. We became official in the state business corridor, and we opened up. We made 622 North Chicago our permanent residence, which could be changing here in the next couple months because we've outgrown it already.
Oh, wow.
And so, just our website goes live tomorrow. We now have online booking, online activities that people can be a part of. We have an app that people use to check in and do all their online bill payments and stuff like that. So, we've come a long way in a short period of time, and we got to give credit to. We have about a strong 17 or 18 people membership that are just been solid and referring people, and just seems like every class we have at least one new person come in and trying it. And then we got very blessed to be asked by Northwest to do a 3-day-a-week 1-hour class for their entire grade school. So
very cool.
Darrin goes out there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 4, and Mondays he does K through, I want to say 2nd grade maybe, then 3rd and 4th on Wednesday, and then 5th and 6th on Friday for an hour. So it's been really good. It's for all ages, and everybody can do it. I've even done a couple classes, time-wise, it's hard for me to get in there every time they're open, but my kids are in it, and we've had older adults. We've had people reach out that are, in retirement age, just looking for something to do and stay mobile. And, the first thing I did, because my knowledge of Taekwondo is pretty low prior to meeting Darrin, but I even asked him. I said one time, there's this lady that wants to join, and she's 68, and is it possible? And he's like, absolutely. They can come in and modify things, and so it's the mover and shakers of the Taekwondo world. So
well, there you go. All right, so once again, our guests are Bryan Clark and Darrin Watkins with Lincoln Taekwondo. We're just past the hour, so we'll go ahead and take our first break. If you have questions or comments or interested in learning more about Taekwondo, give us a call, 217-648-5510, or you can email your questions, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. But right now, we'll go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with more about Lincoln Taekwondo.
Bryan Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Bryan Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Bryan Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butter Burger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Welcome back. We have, as I mentioned, Bryan Clark and Darrin Watkins with us, the owner and instructor at State Farm, sure, no, at Lincoln Taekwondo. Once again, if you have questions, 217-648-5510, the number to call. We were talking before the break about sort of how this partnership formed and how Lincoln Taekwondo was resurrected, I guess you could say. Darrin, can you tell us a little bit more about the classes themselves as far as, like, I'm 58 years old, I've done zero Taekwondo, I play softball in the summer, usually on 1 or 2 leagues, but is that something, like, how would I get involved and what sort of skill levels are there within Taekwondo?
Yeah, so right now we have classes 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and everybody, all ages, are in the same class. And we have people that come in that are in exceptional shape and are exceptional athletes. And we also have people that have very little experience doing any exercise and maybe some that are out of shape. And
when people ask me if I'm in shape, I always say round is a shape. So.
Yeah. But we welcome anybody in there. And that's kind of the goal of Taekwondo, is to strengthen you mentally and physically and to add some discipline into your life. And to just a lot of it, I teach that it's not just about punching and kicking, but it's about character development. So teaching you how to be a better individual, and I think that goes right along with being stronger mentally and physically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And so what are the age ranges now that you have within class? You mentioned there was a 68-year-old interested, but how many, you said there were 27 attending, but is it, what are the age ranges?
I think our youngest right now is 6, and the oldest one is probably in his 20s.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Okay.
So.
And if you do outgrow your facility in terms of numbers, is that something where you would just look to have, and maybe this is a question for both of you, is it a situation where you'd look to have the same classes just with larger numbers, or might you have different offerings, like one class is Monday, Wednesday, one is Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that?
Yeah, so we have pondered the idea of maybe having an adults class and a kids class, or having a higher ranked class and a lower ranked class. So as of right now, everybody's in the same class, but in the future we may be able to have split classes at some point.
Okay, very cool. So obviously we don't have room in here for you to do a demonstration, but can you kind of take me through what a class session is like, as far as, again, I have zero knowledge. So do you kind of start out with warm-ups and then go into exercises and cool down, or how does that work?
Yeah, so every class I will usually start out by getting everybody into a meditation position where they'll be on their knees and eyes closed, and I tell everybody this is the time before class that you can clear your mind of anything that's happened outside of the dojang, anything that's going to happen afterwards. And then usually I'll make a point to speak, because one of the big things about Taekwondo in my life was that Mr. Brown, my instructor, he would speak life into us as a class, and he would encourage us and inspire us on a nightly basis. And so I only feel it's right that if I'm the one standing up there teaching, that I always have something positive to say to the class before we begin. And so then once that occurs, then I usually always run the class through basic kicking techniques first, because I want all their kicks to be instinctive. So we'll run through a series of kicks, and then we'll do a lot of calisthenic working out, a lot of push-up and sit-up type workouts, and then we'll run through forms, and then at the end of the class we'll do sparring.
Sparring, okay. So where you actually pair the students up? Or?
Yes, so
okay.
Full contact sparring.
Oh, wow.
And that's where you'll be able to practice your kicks and punches on your opponent, and kicks are above the belt all the way to the head, so you have to block your head, and then punches from the belt under the neck.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll stick with softball. 217-648-5510, the number to call. Once again, if you have questions of Bryan Clark or Darrin Watkins, blanked on your name there for a second, there with Lincoln Taekwondo. We were talking off air that in addition to the classes that there are Taekwondo competitions, I'm guessing around the region or around the state, and the students from your school, the facility, are involved with those. Can you kind of tell us about those?
Yes.
As well?
So a few times a year there'll be different competitions in the surrounding cities, and some are even out of state.
Oh, wow.
That Lincoln Taekwondo's been to. And March 23rd we'll be going to Avenshine's Taekwondo tournament at Lincoln Land College in Springfield, and that will be our first tournament as the school since we've opened in August.
Oh, okay. And then how are those tournaments run? Is it by age group or by like your developmental level?
Rank and age. So it'll go by belt color and age and size.
And do you have an idea how many students you'll be taking?
I think we might have around 5 that want to go right now.
All right, very
so
cool.
I'll have to ask and see who all is going to go right now.
And then how does that competition work? Is it like individual, sort of like the sparring, just one-on-one competitions, and they score points and advance that way?
So there'll be forms, breaking, and sparring. So the students will have an opportunity to run through their form and do the same form as another student from another school, and then they'll be graded on their form. They'll do breaking, which is where they break the different boards with different techniques, and then sparring is where they will punch and kick for points, and whoever has the most points wins the sparring match.
Wow. Okay. So once again, learning more about Lincoln Taekwondo here. We've got we're here till 4:30. So once again, if you have questions, give us a call or send us an email, 4 p.m. 411@WLCNonline.com. We'll go ahead and take our final break here before 4:30, and we'll be back with Darrin Watkins and Bryan Clark and more about Lincoln Taekwondo in just a minute. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. whether you're buying or selling.
Bryan Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Bryan Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm agent Bryan Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411. We're here till 4:30 with Bryan Clark and Darrin Watkins from Lincoln Taekwondo. We've covered a lot of ground here, talked about the opening or the reopening of the facility, as well as the different offerings and who might partake of those offerings, as well as the competition. Darrin, we mentioned before that you were the last black belt recipient from Scott Brown. Can you kind of talk about Scott Brown as an individual and sort of the influence he had on you and how you're sort of doing all this to kind of honor his legacy, I guess you could say?
Yes, so Mr. Brown I had first met in my years as a teenager, and at that time I was kind of on the wrong route and I was getting in trouble, and I started getting in trouble with the law, and so I ran into him there. And then my mom eventually convinced me to try out his Taekwondo class, which I didn't take very seriously at the time. And so he would speak to me and tell me about the decision making and how I need to make better decisions with my life or what's going to end up, because he's seen this so much in his law enforcement career. And so once I got incarcerated, he was actually the transporting officer that would take me from the county jail to the courthouse to fight my case. And he would remind me of the talks that he gave in class and reminded me how I ripped out the heart of my mother and how, I knew better and that I didn't have to be here. And so I thought of that the 3 years that I was gone. And then when I got out and I ran into him and he gave me the chance to come back to his class, that's when I told myself I was going to take this very seriously. And every single night that I was in class, he would encourage me or inspire me and try to lead my life into a good direction. And he eventually ended up inviting me to church with him, and he baptized me at Prairie Land Christian Church, and he helped me a lot with getting new clients for my lawn care and landscaping business. And he just pretty much took me under his wing and taught me everything he knew, and he gave me opportunities, taking me to Mount Pulaski grade school and high school to speak with the DARE program there. And just looking back on it, he was a very powerful father figure in my life, and probably not one day goes by where I don't think of things that he said or situations that we were in where he tried to lead me in a good direction. It crosses my mind every single day.
Wow, it's more than just Taekwondo going on there, so very powerful message. And Bryan, you mentioned that you were kind of looking for an outlet for your son as far as just discipline and things like that. How have you seen a difference now that he's done Taekwondo with Darrin, and how has that impacted him?
Yeah, there's as kids, my parents remind me all the time that I'm getting back everything that I gave them. He just needed a place to release energy and have some guidance and understanding about obedience and respect. That's a big thing in our family. And so, that first couple weeks, it was an eye-opening for him because he did get in trouble, and we had to tell Mr. Watkins at class, and Mr. Watkins made him do a plank for the first 30 minutes of class. And Benny's only 6, but he understood that, the respect that you're learning and earning in the dojang is a direct reflection out in the public. If you don't behave in public and they know you go there, there's a correlation there, and the importance of being able to be respectful, be kind, use your manners. But yeah, we've seen a big difference in behavior. Still have the kid issues, but sure. Overall, very, very happy with what's going on.
Very cool. And we've mentioned the classes being offered and so forth. If people are interested, how would they go about signing up as far as contacting one of you or finding something online?
The first few months, it's just kind of been show up at the door and come on in. And now that we're getting pretty full in class time, we actually just recently went to an online platform that allows the students and the parents of students to have an app on their phone. They can go in, check their kids in. if you're wanting to try out Taekwondo, you can go to the link that we've posted on our Facebook page, and you can actually register for one free night intro class, and then that will get you set up then in the future to get set up in your 12 class billing cycle. And actually tomorrow our website launches, and so you'll be able to go to the website too and follow us there and click on free trials and register and things like that. So
very cool.
That'll be really exciting.
And people can access the website through your social media, I'm guessing?
Yep. Yep. We'll have that link on our Facebook page, and then if you just Google, we'll attach it to our Google landing page. So you just Google Lincoln Taekwondo, and it's open for anybody. Darrin on Thursdays goes all the way up to Chicago to train, and that's to give him some credit. From me, that he's willing to travel, a couple hours to maintain and improve himself to be able to teach the community and anyone that decides to show up.
And as far as Taekwondo, teaching Taekwondo, are there certain certifications or certain programs that you are encouraged to go through or have to go through in order to instruct a class?
To be qualified to teach, you'd want to have at least a first degree black belt, and all the Lincoln Taekwondo certifications are through the Kukiwon, which is the World Taekwondo headquarters in Korea. And so you would want to at least have a first degree. I have a second degree right now, and I'm working on my third degree belt.
Wow. And
I've done just a lot of research online and then training with instructors. And so I just met a gentleman that is a master in Elmhurst, Illinois, Parks champion Taekwondo, and I'll be going up there at least once a week to practice with him and try to further my education in Taekwondo.
Very cool. And how many levels are there in terms of black
all the
belts?
way up to 9th degree black belt.
9th degree. And you're where? Second right
Second
now?
degree.
So I'm lucky if I can find a belt of any color to fit me. So
yeah, we say the ranking system is kind of like, white through black belt is kind of like the grade school, and then once you get into your black belt, that's kind of like college. Now you're working on your college education.
All right, very cool. So just got about a minute left. So once again, where is the facility located?
622 North Chicago, Lincoln, Illinois.
Okay. And just search Lincoln Taekwondo on Facebook or on Google, and that'll get you the right place.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, and you mentioned a 12-week billing cycle. When people sign up for classes, is it a 3-month commitment, or how?
Yep, they can do monthly. It's the way it's set up now, because we have the access on the online platform, is 12 classes in a billing cycle. So then that way, if they sign up mid-month, they're not missing out on anything. But yeah, it's 12 classes in a billing cycle, and then we just started offering, if you're a colored belt, so yellow belt or higher, we have a leadership class on the first Monday of every month. So that allows then Darrin to kind of break it down to a smaller group. The one thing that I noticed and learned was the importance of the colored belts being able to teach the younger belts coming in, and that's part of the growth and the rise in the ranks. And so we thought that would be beneficial for some of our students to begin that process by learning how to do that.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Well, good luck on your venture, gentlemen, and we'll maybe have you on again here in a few months, and you'll be telling us about your bigger facilities.
Maybe we'll do it at the Dojang, and you can show us some moves.
I don't know if you want to see those moves. The move will be grabbing the phone to call 911, I think. So, but once again, thanks for being with us. And once again, as I mentioned, next week on the 4 p.m. 411, we will have Mayor Tracy Welch from Lincoln. So he will be here to answer questions and take your comments. And tune in to Viewpoint tomorrow when Dara Entwistle will have Terry McClellan and Josh McClellan from the J&M Meat Market scheduled to open soon in downtown Lincoln. Viewpoint, of course, airs from 8 to 8:30. Once again, thank you for being here. This has been the 4 p.m. 411, and we will talk to you next week. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.